Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Tech Topics Budgeting Apps. This is part of our Money Smart Week. That's something I'll talk about a little bit later towards the end of our program, but I am going to go ahead and hand things over to Teresa. How are you doing, Teresa?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing, Tanisha?
I am good. So let's go ahead and jump into some budgeting apps. I am going to turn off my camera and mute myself so you can talk about all things budgeting apps.
Nice. Thank you very much. So again, as Tanisha said, my name is Teresa Collins. I am from the Arthenia L. Jordan University Area Community Library, and we're going to talk about budgeting apps today. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off my camera as well, and we'll go ahead and get started. So the first thing we do is always a resource shout out, excuse me. And so today's resource shout out is Universal Class. Universal Class provides a number of classes to help with personal finances. The examples that I've mentioned here are Personal Finance 101, how to manage your money, debt reduction, and retirement planning. As long as you have a library card with HCPLC, you have free access to this class. So all you have to do is type in Tampa, Hillsborough, Florida.universalclass.com to get to the homepage, or you can go directly through hcplc.org and click on online classes and get to it that way as well. So let's jump right in. Why should we know about budgeting apps? So budgeting in general is just a great tool to assist in researching, in reaching your financial goals. If you are trying to buy a car or a home, or just are trying to build up money to go on a trip, or build up money to put in an emergency savings account, budgeting is the tool to get you there. Budgeting apps help track expenses and provide insight into where your money is going. And a budget will help prevent deficit spending habits. So when you are able to visually see where your money is going, you can start to make better choices about where your money is going. A couple of apps that I'm going to talk about today. First one is Money Manager, Expense and Budget. It's a free app. There are some in-app purchases. It allows you to view daily, weekly, and monthly financial data and record your financial transactions. There's Mint, Budget, Bills, Finance, and Tax Refund Tracker. It's a personal finance tracking app from the makers of TurboTax. So yes, Mint was created by Intuit. And although it is free, there is a premium plan that you have to pay more money for. So free comes with a few less features than the paid version. And then we're going to talk about Wallet, personal finance, budget, and expense tracker. So it's free. Again, it has in-app purchases, and it creates budgets. You can view reports, and you have the ability to share your account information with a partner. So, if you are living with someone, or, you want to give somebody else some insight into your spending habits, Wallet will allow you to do this. Now, I will say this, for our purposes, I'm going to show you guys Money Manager and Wallet. I'm not going to show you Mint, because Mint actually requires you to connect your bank account information to be accurate. Money Manager and Wallet give you the option to manually input things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and broadcast my phone so you guys can kind of see the little budget that I set up for this presentation. So again, I'm going to talk about Wallet and Money Manager. So the things that I'm kind of going to go over quickly are just how to view your expenses, how to add expenses, and to kind of view your overall cash flow, because these are the things you want to keep in mind when you're building a budget, right? So let's click on Wallet. So I went ahead. Oh, it's asking me to rate it. I don't want to do that. I went ahead and I put in a budget for last month. Okay. So right now, based on everything that I put in, at the top of my imaginary checking account has $380.41. And then I have an emergency fund that has $1,200 in it. On your home page screen, you get your expenses structure. So you get an overview of the last 30 days of what you've been spending your money on. food and drinks, vehicle expenses, communication PC. As you can see, when I touch the colorful parts of the wheel, a go deeper appears. Okay, we'll talk about that in a moment. And then this list in the last 30 days, top things that I've technically spent money on. So you see groceries, you see transfer from checking to emergency, Walgreens, food and drinks. Okay, so it kind of gives you kind of a quick overview of things. All right, but what if we want to add expenses? So the plus sign in the bottom right hand side, when you tap on it, it asks you what you want to do. So we're going to create a new record. And with that, let's say we spent $5 today, I don't know, at Mickey D's, just because that's easy. And that was the first thing that jumped in my head. So I put in $5. It's coming from my checking account, but you can definitely change it, what account it's coming from. And again, the plus sign in the bottom right-hand side will allow you to add a different account if you'd like. But we're going to change the category from groceries to restaurant fast food. It will list kind of the top things that you've been spending money on at the very top, so you don't have to scroll down through the list. But just so you can kind of have an idea, if we click on food and drinks, we have a couple of different categories. So we're going to click on restaurant fast food because that's what I'm going to name it. The little tab on the right-hand side, when you slide that over, you give a description. I'm just going to say McD. And then the date, the time, it can be as accurate as you want it to be. The payment type, we're going to say debit card because sure, when you go to Mickey D's, you use a debit card. And then we're going to check that off. So that has now been added to our list of things. You see it's now at the top. And because it was within the last 30 days, it is included in this food and drinks section and on our chart. If I click on go deeper for food and drinks, go deeper and deeper. So restaurant, groceries, what am I trying to show you guys here? What I'm trying to show you is not popping up for some reason. At any rate, you can see if we just clicked on food and drink, so it divided up groceries into one section, restaurant fast food into one section, and just general food and drinks into another section, okay? So there's that. Let's see. So we talked about adding expenses. If you just want to view all of your expenses, you can click show more. And then at the bottom, this tab at the bottom gives you the last 7 days, 30 days, 12 weeks, or whatever. You can slide, and then you get the option for this week, this month, this year, or you can do, you know, from a set time to a set day. So it kind of goes as deep as you want it to go. We're going to go back home. These options, and I know I'm kind of moving fast, guys, but I'm sorry. I clicked on the 3 lines, top left-hand side. You get different options here. Statistics, plan payment. You can work out budgets. You can set goals. You can create shopping lists. There are a whole plethora of different things you can do with this particular app. All right. But one thing I did want to show you were the statistics because it produces some pretty interesting reports. So we are going to say, let's do March of 2021 because that's when I have all the things in there. So as you can see, we've got a balance trend going on, balanced by accounts. I've only input 2, but you can put more in if you'd like. And then you can do an outlook if you'd like. So we've got a forecast here at the bottom. We've got cash flow. You've got spending habits. So there are all kinds of different things you can kind of chop up if you'd like. Okay, so I'm going to hop out of this app because I know I spent a lot of time on it. Again, that was Wallet. So let's look at Money Manager. So I did the exact same thing in Money Manager that I did in Wallet. The thing about Money Manager that I actually happen to like is it's pretty it's pretty bare bones, and I actually like that. So let's talk about adding an expense. So again, bottom right-hand side, you have your plus sign. Click on it. You're going to add an expense. You've got your date and time at the top. That's fine. What account is it coming from? So you've got cash. You've got your regular accounts, I just clicked on account for checking because that's just what I did. And then you've got different categories. So you can actually create the categories. It doesn't give a whole lot of suggestions like Wallet did, but that's okay. So you can name it food, or you can get deeper if you want to name it something. And we're going to add $5 just like we did in the other one. And then for notes, I'm going to say the same thing, McD. You can give another description. You can even take a picture of the receipt if you'd like. But there's that. So you see at the top, it's McD. You can look at your expenses by calendar. Okay, so you see all my expenses from last month, or my imaginary expenses from last month. The blue ones are deposits, the red ones are withdrawals. You can even do weekly, monthly, and totals. You can create budgets for different things. But I just like the fact that you can kind of look at things and see what they look like. If it's going to let me do that. Sorry, okay, this is what I wanted to get to. Expenses. So right here it gives you a nice little pie chart. And then you can kind of see what you paid for each of the things. And you know, if that works for you, great. And then this is just general accounts, assets, totals, and then you've got your different settings or whatnot. The other app had settings as well. So I don't want to run out of time here, but like I said, this one is a little bit more bare bones than the wallet app, but I happen to like that. Personally, I do my budget on an Excel spreadsheet. So this app works fine for me because my budget is just straightforward in numbers. So some thoughts about budgeting apps. Get recommendations and read articles. There are so many articles, guys, out there just about the different budgeting apps. One app I didn't mention that I heard was really, really good. It's called You Need a Budget. I think you have to pay for that one as well, if I'm not mistaken. But I heard it's got some really great features. I just didn't have the time to test it out. But definitely get recommendations, read your articles, find one that fits your needs. Not everybody has the same plan in mind. You know, some people really need to look at their expenses. Some people are, you know, creating a budget for debt reduction. Some people are creating a budget to get better with their credit. Some people are creating a budget just to save for a specific event. Find one that, you know, kind of is in line with what you're trying to do with your money, and read the reviews, okay? So, you know, see what people are saying. I guess this kind of goes hand in hand with the get recommendations and read articles, but just, you know, get an overall idea for what the app is going to do and read the reviews of people who enjoy it or do not. So another option that you guys have, it's not necessarily an app, but I like to promote local, you know, entities when I can. So the GTE Elevate program it's on a website. It's gtefinancial.org/elevate. GTE is a credit union here in the Tampa area, and they have a free wellness program, and so you can register online for free financial education. It's interactive. It allows you to input your information and gives you modules to learn at your own pace. And if you happen to be a GTE member, a money mentor is available to you to assist you in reaching your financial goals. So if you're already a GTE member, fantastic, you have access to this. If you're not, you have access to the free stuff still. So you can never have too many money tools to help you get to where you're trying to go. All right, so that kind of brings me to the end here. We're gonna leave a little bit of time for questions, but I'm gonna bring Tanisha back. If she could, you know, pop back on and talk to you guys about Money Smart Week, because that's something really awesome that the library does every year. So thank you, Tanisha, take it away.
All right, thank you, Teresa. So yes, we are in the middle of Money Smart Week. So I have dropped 3 links for you before we get to the question section. So first link is for next week's tech topic, which will be on sustainable tech in honor of Earth Day. I have also dropped the link for Money Smart Week, so you can see the other wonderful library programs we have revolving Money Smart Week. And I also dropped the link for GTE Financial as well. So if you are on a desktop or a laptop, that would be on the chat section. If you are on a tablet, if you tap on the little people icon, you will be able to access those links there. And Teresa, I am going to invite you back on so we can answer some questions.
Fantastic.
All right. In these apps, can you add purchase categories of your own in Wallet? Or are you limited to the app's categories?
You can add purchase categories of your own, although it's not as easy to do in Wallet as it was for me in Money Manager. Now Wallet gives you like some pretty detailed categories, so whatever it is that you need, they probably have it, but they do have like an extra one that says like other, and then it's like miscellaneous, and then you can like put notes on whatever it is. So but they're a lot more detailed than Money Manager was, so I'm going to say yes, kind of.
All right, thank you. And we also have somebody asking, of the 3 or 4 apps that you mentioned, which one do you recommend the most?
Ooh, honestly, I've heard a lot of good things from Mint, and I know I didn't talk about Mint very much, but there's a coworker that I work with, and she's had Mint for a couple years, and she loves it. She says that sometimes there are a couple of hiccups when it comes to identifying expenses, because she's linked it up with her bank account, of course. So sometimes it'll identify expenses incorrectly, and she'll have to go back in there and change it. But like, she loves it, and I've read some really great things about it. Yeah, so give Mint a try. But the other 2 really aren't bad. They're just, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No,
but
go ahead.
If you are unsure of linking your bank account to an app, I know that's something that gave me reservations. I've also heard wonderful things about Mint. I've heard because it is so easy, because you can just automatically, do your, add your stuff. We also have somebody asking, what are the privacy issues? And I would say, if you don't mind me jumping in here, Teresa, I would say that with any app where you give an app permission to your personal information, anything can be hacked. So even though they do take your privacy and they do take that very seriously, just be cognizant of the fact that you are giving an outside app, you're giving an outside company access to your bank account. So if that is something that gives you a little bit of reservation, just keep that in the back of your head. Again, they have a financial imperative to keep your data safe, so they are doing what they can. However, we always hear about those data breaches every day of somebody getting breached. So Teresa, absolutely. I'm sure you agree with me. Like, you just got to keep that in the back of your head.
Right. And, I will say this, going back to Mint, to Mint's credit, they are, it was created by Intuit. Again, it's the same company that does TurboTax. And, TurboTax is, they have to do taxes. So,
yeah, TurboTax if you use TurboTax, they literally have access to everything.
Exactly. So like, read the fine print on anything you sign up for. Absolutely. Anytime you have to accept those terms and conditions, read the terms and conditions. Okay. And that'll give you visibility into what they're doing with your information. But yes, I agree with Tanisha. When you sign up for this stuff, you're turning over your info and you're just hoping for the best, pretty much.
All right, so thank you guys. That was a pretty lively question section this afternoon. So we are going to go ahead and wrap it up. Give you guys a few more seconds to access those links. Of course, you know how to contact us. You know how to find our programs and events. We greatly encourage you guys to do that. Thank you again, Teresa, so much for joining me this afternoon for Tech Topics. Everybody have a wonderful afternoon, and thank you for joining us. Bye now.
Thank you guys. Bye.